Well, it's been 3 days and some local college students are still trying to figure out where they are going to live. News 19 first brought you this story on Sunday night as USC students and their families showed up to some off-campus apartments, and they say those apartments were in very rough condition. News 19's Nate Stanley is on your side tonight working to get them answers. Take a look.
Frustration and confusion are the words that I've heard most when speaking to students who tried to move in here Sunday and expected clean apartments. Now classes are starting on Thursday and some feel like they're running out of options.
Just kind of visiting friends, going wherever I can. But at the end of the day, I do still have to go back there because that's where I'm paying my rent right now.
Ashley Gainey has been living in what she says are unfit conditions for days now. She showed up to the Rowan Apartments on Sunday expecting a clean apartment, but says she was disappointed to find a mess. She explains the steps she's taken to make things better since she spoke to News 19 on Monday.
I've been in and out of the office building all day yesterday, planning to go back today, but they're not really giving me any answers. They're not being helpful.
Shania Carmichael is also a USC student with a lease at the Rowan, and she says she hasn't been staying at her apartment. She showed up Sunday to water-damaged carpets and floors. She says a representative reached out to her but has not been given any updates yet.
Currently, I'm now living with a friend until I figure out a resolution. I've gone to the apartment, but only to speak to the manager. Haven't heard anything back yet. I guess it's just a waiting game now.
News 19 reached out to Adam Prethero from Appleseed Legal and asked about the steps you can take if you're in a similar situation. He says in South Carolina, a landlord needs to provide a space that is safe and healthy to live from the moment they give you the keys.
What the tenant can do is send the landlord a 14-day written notice that says, here's what the problem is. And if you don't fix it within 14 days, I'm going to terminate my lease and move out.
He adds tenants can give their landlords a 5-day notice if the space doesn't fall into what the law calls a fit and habitable condition. News 19 also reached out to Campus Advantage, the company that manages the Rowan Apartments. They said in a statement, "We now have 5 extra maintenance team members on site in addition to corporate team representatives." One other key tip that Prethero gave was to document everything. Put it all in writing to make sure there's proof you tried to make everything better. Reporting in Columbia, Nate Stanley, News 19, WLTX.
All right, thank you, Nate. And once again, a reminder, these Rowan Apartments, as they're called, they house USC students, but they are not owned or controlled in any way by USC. And the lease you sign as a renter is a legally binding agreement, and it applies to you and your landlord. In that lease, you likely set a move-in date. That move-in date, for any other reason, if that changes, you need your landlord's consent. If the home is not ready for you to move into, your landlord has breached the lease. You can request to be moved to another property. You can also break the lease and demand your money back for that rental. So keep that in mind. But good luck to those students, certainly.